right, welcome into the latest edition of the Second Half Draft Show. I'm your host, Juice, joined by Drew. Currently, we are anticipating Headley joining us a little bit later, but quite the first official week of the 2024 college football season. Lots to unpack here. We'll do a brief preview of week 2, but there is so much to get to here, Drew, from a very entertaining, very eye-opening week 1. Of course, you can tack on week 0. We talked about that last week. But week 1, we saw a full slate, and certain guys certainly have kind of stamped, as Mrs. Ciprasky, what's going on, Mrs. Ciprasky has already mentioned, stamped their way into the forefront of the 2025 NFL draft conversation in terms of bolstering their stock, while others aren't necessarily helping themselves. So we're going to unpack it all. We're going to talk a little bit more about these various matchups on top of the individual players as it relates to the 2025 NFL draft. And then we'll also get to week 2 as well. But again, the majority of this show will be focused on the title of this particular live stream, second half draft show live stream, excuse me. What have we learned from college football week 1, Drew?
The question is where to start. That's really where to start. What have we learned that some teams just don't get it? Some teams are stubborn and they're going to do what they want to do, and the result is going to be the same. We can talk about Clemson and the offense that they run there is not the answer, bro. Point blank simple. I know they play Georgia, and Georgia's a powerhouse, number 1 team in the country. I got all that. I get all that. Clemson got talent, and I believe that offense is holding them back. And we've said that for a couple years now. They don't believe in using the middle of the field in any way, shape, or form, bro.
This goes back to Trevor Lawrence.
It does. Goes all the way back there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They don't use it. And I'm watching the tape, bro. And let me tell you, those players don't look comfortable in the middle of the field. Quarterback don't feel comfortable throwing the ball in the middle of the field. The first throw in the middle of the field was to Brenson, who we like, and he dropped the pass, bro. Guys don't know to settle down, and they run themselves right into defenders when they should be settling down in the middle of the field and making the throw. Everything is outside, in between the hash and the numbers are outside the numbers. It's crazy. It's crazy. And how they have not made that adjustment is ludicrous to me, bro. And it's a crime in itself. We also understand that, not using the transfer portal. I'm not saying you got to load up like Florida State, like Miami and some of these other teams, Ole Miss in the transfer portal. But what you'd have to do with the transfer portal at the very least, bro, is cover your deficiencies. Because you're a name. You're not Middle Tennessee State. No shot at Middle Tennessee State. I'm just drawing a comparison. You're Clemson, right? Death Valley. You can go get some guys in the transfer portal, bro. But I think Dabo is so hooked on I've made promises that I want to keep those promises. But you also want to keep your job. You got a family, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not at Hopoke Dunk State College, bro. Like you gotta produce, right? And there's a track record of you not really producing for the past how many years, bro? Right? We can slide over to my team real quick. Billy Napier.
No. Take your time.
Take my time.
Bro. Take your time. Take your time, bro.
Listen. I know we gonna get to the games, but listen. I was thinking about it. And I was because you know me, I'm half glass full kind of guy. I'm not. I'm trying to give some people some bail. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what? Napier needs that mobile, agile, DJ Lagway type of quarterback, right? He had that in Anthony Richardson. The problem with Anthony Richardson is he probably should have stayed one more year, and then he probably would have had his guy in terms of that's what the offense should look like. Because having Mertz back there, bro, and I said it last year, and I told my brother because we was kind of texting back and forth, and he's like, I don't like the offense. I go, I don't think the offense is the issue. I think it's the plays that are being called. When you're calling plays and Napier may know more football than what's the saying that I'll ever forget, or he'll forget.
Well, he'll forget more than you'll ever know. Sure.
What I do know, what I'm watching, is that there's no connection to the plays. There's no setting things up. It looks like he's just, okay, let's just go with that play. And okay, let's go to page 6. All right, let me go with this play. Like there's no
rhyme or reason. There has to be a rhyme or reason.
Makes sense, right? You want to go for it on 3rd and 5, right? We're going to run the football. Why? And then we're going to run into the teeth of the Miami defense at that. And for God's sake, your right tackle, your right side of your offensive line was the worst. Everybody knew it. Everybody. There wasn't a fan in the stadium, wasn't a fan on the TV watching. None of that, bro. We all knew the right side of your offensive line was awful. And you gave those guys no help. And you made it very, very easy for Miami. And I think he needs to give up offensive play calling and just be the head coach. Because I think he can be a head coach. I just don't think he can be an offensive coordinator. And I think he's got a lot going on. When you got guys getting 15-yard penalties, when you're about to end the drive or put Miami in a bad situation in terms of a 2nd or 3rd down and long, instead it's a 1st down. Like it's just, bro. I don't know, bro. Like, and I know Florida fan want him out, and I'm okay if he's out. But again, half glass full. I'm trying to give him some bail, man. And DJ Lagway should have started from get go. If the offensive line is that much of an issue and you're not giving anybody any help, then DJ Lagway should have been the guy, because Mertz can't sit back there, process, and get the ball out when you're playing teams like Miami, who got D-line was the real deal Saturday. Like, I'm gonna give the Miami players their flowers later, but bro, there was a lot going on, and it was unacceptable. And it was same old from last year, man. Got ran out the building. Got these cats high-fiving and the recruits and whatnot, bro. Like, what do we do, bro? It's so disrespectful, bro. But you know what? If that's what it takes for Florida to turn it around, bro, hey, sometimes the bad got to happen, bro. Let's stay in the state of Florida real quick. FSU, bro. I know Florida played bad, but I don't know if there's any hope for FSU, bro, because there's nobody they're turning the ball over to in terms of another quarterback, because he got problems. Offensive line got problems. Receivers kind of just the wheels started to turn, but they still can't win one-on-one. Number 84, tight end, awful. I was watching the game, and I said, okay, you know what? FSU's not soft. They're not marshmallowy. They're just not tough. Nah, the boys marshmallowy, bro. They're marshmallowy, bro. You can't. Time of possession was crazy, bro. In that first half, towards the end of the first half, bro, I think Florida State had the ball for 3 minutes. And Boston College had it for the rest, bro. It was ugly. It was embarrassing, bro. And for you to grab all them transfers and for y'all to be, in the soft ACC, yeah, that'd be a soft. It's marshmallowy. Y'all might be the softest, the State Puff man, bro. Those bucks.
Michelin man.
Michelin man, bro. You know what I'm saying? No tread on them tires, B. Terrible.
Mississippi Brassy mentioned that he learned about his leading tailback here, Jonah Coleman, as someone to watch. Going back to summer scouting, we talked about Jonah Coleman at Arizona, and I thought he was really impressive there. Of course, we were expecting huge things from Michael Wiley. He had some injuries, and Jonah Coleman got his opportunity and really demonstrated what he's capable of. So he looks to build on that. Heather, what did you learn from week 1 in college football?
Man, learned a lot, bro. We could stay with Florida State. You know what I'm saying? That's what Drew is talking about them, and there's no hope for them, bro. You got to throw out the season. It doesn't look good. DJU, he can't make plays off script. It got to be clearly defined for him. And when he does make the good read, they don't have anybody to catch the football. Like Drew said, number 84, the tight end, had 2 big drops in that game. And, coming into the season, I was relying on the defense and then the offensive line. I was like, okay, our defense is solid. offensive line is solid, if we could run the football, control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, we could potentially maybe win the ACC. But defense ain't playing up to par. That defensive line, those guys up front, Patrick Payton, those guys, they're not getting it done. The offensive line's not getting any push. You can't get 4 yards to carry. So if that's not working, it's no way. I was saying Florida State might not win 4 games this year, bro. I'm looking at the schedule, and it's like, even against the Gators are supposed to be an easy win. I don't know anymore, bro. I don't know if it's going to be an easy win anymore over there. And DJU, like Drew said, we don't have another quarterback. We got to just try. We got to try somebody else, man, because I don't think DJU is the answer. I didn't expect losing Jordan Travis to be so big. I know losing Keon Coleman, Johnny Wilson, Trey Benson, I know that was big, but, Jordan Travis is, man, I wish we had him. If we had Jordan Travis, we'd probably be 2-0 right now. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, we could throw away Florida State season. Miami, they're the real deal. They should be in the playoffs. Cam Ward, we tried to tell him, bro, that you were talking about Q. Nobody had him QB3 like we did, and he might be working his way up to QB2, QB1 by the end of the season, man. I like Shador, but Cam Ward looked pretty special out there after one game. I know it's one game, but we've been seeing the flashes. We saw the flashes at Washington State with Cam Ward, the talent that he has, the quick release. I know they're probably going to ding him on the sidearm, but, man, he makes it look really good, bro. He gets it to his receivers, the different arm angles, former baseball player. So, man, I like what I see, man. He can extend the play like Shador. And the thing about him is he will actually use his legs more than Shador will, So that's why Cam Ward has a chance to be QB1 at the end of the season, man. We know what Carson Beck is. Carson Beck is a guy that, methodically drives the ball down the football field. Dink and dunk. He doesn't really take much shots. But Cam Ward, bro, that's the guy, bro, right now that I'm seeing around college football. And then RB1, Ashton Genty, he had an incredible performance. Wide receiver 1, T-Mac, he had an incredible performance. And I know this is a NFL draft show, but those true freshmen was balling on both sides of the ball. The receivers, the pass rushers. So once they become eligible, bro,
bruh,
yo,
it's some monsters. 18, 7. You got cats that are supposed to be in their senior year of high school, reclassified. Yeah. Ryan Williams, I believe, is his name, man. Like, we already know about Jeremiah Smith, Dylan Stewart. Somebody say he's a 6-star, bro. He ain't a 5-star. He said he's a 6-star, bro.
He moved different. Bruh, even some of these quarterbacks, like your boy Nico from Tennessee,
Tennessee.
freshman, and then the freshman quarterback from
Nebraska,
Raiola.
Nebraska.
Yep.
The Patrick Mahomes clone, bro. So yeah, man, these freshmen coming in balling, bro, like 17, 18 years old. So, man, college football is in a special place, man, going forward.
Bright future.
It's very exciting. Going back to the Cam Ward conversation, what really struck me, because we're on the socials and we're reading the tea leaves and so on and so forth, and just there was that kind of groundswell right before week 1 got underway, right? That a lot of different publications, a lot of different analysts started to really kind of get on the bandwagon as it relates to Cam Ward specifically, right? That Miami could have a special season because of what Cam Ward is capable of, and Headley, you mentioned it. It's like, where y'all been? Where have you been? You know what I'm saying? And I thought about it, and it goes back to what we talked about previously.
West Coast.
It's a West Coast bias, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of people who just simply have never seen Cam Ward play is astonishing to me. Now, it shouldn't be, because not everybody is watching Pac-12 after dark. Not everybody's a degenerate like we are. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's evaluating what's happening on those late West Coast games, but I mean, it really was a little bit. It was kind of jarring that y'all really didn't know, and beyond just the casual fan, I think there's just a lot of NFL personnel who just simply isn't aware of what Cam Ward is capable of doing. And the one thread that I kept on pulling on leading up through the summer in terms of what I expected from Ward, right? In terms of the arm talent, the playmaking ability, what he did this past Saturday, none of that surprises me. None of that surprises me. What I loved is how locked in he was, bro. There was a time on the at the end of the first half, right? He's looking at the tablet, going through the film, Restrepo comes over and says, yo, it's halftime. He's so locked in, he didn't even realize it was time to go to the locker room. You understand what I'm saying? So that leadership, that poise, the control, I think obviously goes a long way as well. And the main thing, as I alluded to, he got sacked once, bro. He had a lot of time to throw, bro. A lot of time. And that was my point regarding Miami, is that Cam Ward has never played behind an offensive line this talented. That's going to protect him as well. He was sacked, I think, 38 times last year, 46 times the year before at Wazoo. He's going to be protected, bro. And as you mentioned, Headley, the arm talent, the arm angles, drop it down, half, three-quarter. You know what I'm saying? Using his legs, the throw across his body on that seed he threw to Jacoby George in the back of the end zone. That I haven't seen a better throw. I mean, it's only 1 week, but I haven't seen a better throw through the first week of college football. You understand what I'm saying? So certainly, there's a lot to be excited about there. You guys mentioned, some of the inherent struggles with FSU and UF. And I'm going to agree with you, Headley. I thought FSU might be able to put their hat on their play within the trenches, right?
Yeah, win ugly.
You know what I'm saying? Be physical at the point of attack on either side of the line of scrimmage. And that very experienced offensive line, I thought, was going to be truly the key. You mentioned Jordan Travis. Bro, there's nothing like having a good quarterback, bro. It's nothing like it, bro. A good quarterback covers up so many of your deficiencies. And then when you're complete around that good quarterback, it's a different ball of wax. Drew, you made mention in terms of like, for instance, Dabo Swinney not necessarily using the portal. Obviously, it's a mistake. You have to adapt with the times. You mentioned that Miami just kind of went all in to a degree. And it makes perfect sense because you got Cam Ward, first and foremost.
Yep.
You got Cam Ward. So you push your chips to the middle of the table. But what people aren't necessarily identifying, because they're swept up in the Cam Ward hysteria, is the development, the talent evaluation and development of the young guys coming up. You understand what I'm saying? Those guys are starting to play at their what they're capable of in terms of maximizing their potential. Now, Miami had an issue along the defensive line. There was a lack of depth last year, right? You had a couple guys transfer out. So what do? You go into the portal to supplement. But what people don't realize is that there's some ballers in the wings. There were 2 true freshmen that were getting snaps against UF before the blowout. They were part of the rotation. So I think this is coming back to bite FSU. FSU has made it that is how they build their team. As opposed to supplementing, they built their team via the portal. Now, last year made perfect sense, right? You got everybody to come back. You got an experienced quarterback that has really blossomed, right? You bring in your handful of transfers in order to really go for it. Now, unfortunately, Jordan Travis got hurt, so we didn't get to see how that whole thing worked out. But the development of those players, bro, you got 5 stars, bro, along the offensive line that came in as 5 stars. They can't get on the field. On a team, in terms of this offensive line, struggling. What's the problem? That speaks to development, bro. Yep. That speaks to being able to recruit high school, and that's been the knock on your boy. He's a great X and O guy in Norvell. Absolutely, he's a great X and O guy. He does a pretty good job leveraging the portal, but his talent identification and development via high school, being able to close on those high school kids, has been a problem. And as you mentioned it, you got these super freshmen coming in. You understand what I'm saying? Difference makers, ready-made, ready to go. You know what I mean? So you cannot punt on high school recruiting in favor of the transfer portal, and you cannot completely ignore the transfer portal. It's a different era of football. And here's the other thing. We didn't mention NIL, right? And I think Nick Saban said it on one of the broadcasts this past week. You got to make sure you pay the right guys. Because believe it or not, FSU is spending more in NIL on this year's roster than Miami is. Believe it or not, right? So you have to be very strategic. And again, this comes back to the talent evaluation, the fit, so on and so forth. There were a couple of guys at FSU that held FSU ransom. And I'm looking at you, Patrick Payton. I'm looking at you. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have the right mix, the hunger that a Jared Verse had, that a Braden Fisk had, right, as transfers coming in and really buying in, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. The DJU conversation, I mean, the ship has sailed on him as far as I'm concerned, man. The ship has sailed. Like I thought there was some steps that he took at Oregon State last year. I do think Norvell can do some things to help him, but yeah, man, I'm out.
Move the pocket, bro.
Yeah,
Move the pocket, bro.
I think he should be on the center. I agree. He should be on the center.
Center more. Yeah.
He should be on the center
Play
more.
action.
Yeah.
Turn his back to the defense.
Yeah.
Easy identifiable routes, the high guy, the low guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Touchdown and check down. You know what I'm saying? So I would expect Norvell to make some adjustments, but we'll see. We'll see how that ultimately works out. Let's get into the studs of the week as well as our stock up guys. So obviously there was a lot to learn. We just kind of scratched the surface here. But there were a couple of really impressive showings here in week one. And I'm gonna start with Headley. I think you and I are in lockstep. I wonder if Drew has joined us in terms of who RB1 is in this particular class at this juncture. I don't necessarily foresee it changing. That's Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State.
Who did they play?
They didn't play nobody.
Look,
okay,
man.
that's listen.
Look, man.
I didn't watch the game because I was like, I can't, bro. He did exactly what he was supposed to do, bro. Them stats,
man,
bro. That's in high school, bro. That's high school, bro.
I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. Because you got to watch him run the tote the pill, bro.
Yeah.
Watch him tote the pill. If you just look at the box score and you look at the opponent, be like, watch how he actually totes the pill, bro.
No. I watched a little bit of it, bro. But my thing is like when I expect you, when I give you more credit when you're doing things that I don't expect you to do against teams.
Listen,
you're not supposed to.
I wouldn't have batted an eyelash if he was averaging 8 yards per carry, which is outrageous, by the way. This man averaged 13.4 yards per carry. Bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And the open field moves, the contact balance,
that's what makes it special. When you watch the tape, bro, that's what makes it special, bro. The open field, the contact balance, and we didn't even get to see the hands, bro.
We didn't even get to see the receiving chops. We didn't even get a chance to see the receiving chops.
Receiving chops at college football level. I know it was against a Duck, and that's the last box I'm waiting to check on him against higher competition. I got the same concerns as you, Drew. That's my last box to check on him. But as far as RB1 conversation, he's my RB1 coming in, and I don't see anybody taking that this season.
Listen, I'm not mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all, bro. He just reinforced the boxes that have been checked, bro. You know what I'm saying? So just better against better competition. Like those are the games I'm gonna go and take a look at more than I will, against a Dart or a Mallet or less than.
That's fair. That's fair. That's probably you probably won't see Jackson Dart in this particular.
No. You probably.
You won't.
I mean, he probably played the worst teams that everybody played this past week.
Don't give the sauce, bro.
Nah, come on, bro.
Don't give the sauce, bro.
The boys dropped 76, bro.
Come on, man.
Did anybody drop 70, bro?
But let's think about this though. Now, this is not the Boise State of 10, 15 years ago, right? We're talking about wanting to see Jeanty against better competition, but it's not exactly as if Boise State is a powerhouse, right?
Yeah, you're right.
When during the BCS era, early on, you had the Statue of Liberty play. You know what I'm saying? Boise State was always that team that might be on they were the Gonzaga. They were the Gonzaga of college football, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like right on the cusp, but they never broke through. And then, of course, they took a step back. You know what I'm saying? There's some changes at coach and so on and so forth. Guys moved on, and they took a step back. So it's not as if he's playing behind an NFL laden offensive line necessarily. Now we'll see. We'll see if they have some guys that ultimately carve out a role at the next level, as we continue to evaluate. But he's not necessarily playing with a bunch of household names, is what I'm saying. So, as much as I'd like to see him against better competition, and hopefully he does, participate in the Senior Bowl week and so on and so forth, I'm thoroughly impressed, man. I'm thoroughly impressed. That 13.5 yards per carry is nothing to sneeze at when you're doing that kind of thing. If he was just there's a gaping hole and he just goes untouched. Okay, yeah. I get it. But some of the moves, the elusiveness, again, that contact balance, and we already know he's an excellent receiver out of the backfield. He just wasn't called upon to do so. Yeah, I think Genty's certainly deserving of stud of the week. I'm gonna. I mean, it might be an overreaction. You know, I'm a Luther Burden fan, man. But listen, man, your boy T-Mac.
T-Mac, bro. He just more complete at this moment. You know, I like Luther Burden too.
He is.
He plays in the slot a lot. They kind of, design plays for him to get the ball in the open field. And I think Burden's a better open field yards after the catch than McMillan, even though McMillan had a lot of yak in this game. But I think Burden's better there. But all around talent, like the completeness of his game, like this guy is 6'5". He's a big man with small receiver feet. You know, his ability to get open at the route stems and, win with separation as a route runner at his size, that's what makes him special, bro. Like, not many big receivers can move the way he does. And, he gets the comp of, Mike Evans comp, Drake London comp, but he might be a better route runner than both of those guys at this time. So, yeah, man, what he did and being able to find the open spot, that play where he was guarded, it was two guys on him, but then the quarterback kind of rolled out and he kind of followed his quarterback. Real good synergy. I think him and his quarterback played high school ball together as well. So they got a lot of connection, real good synergy, and just knowing where to be on the field. So just him making subtle things like that, high IQ plays, man, wide receiver one, bro. And yeah, he's separating from Luther Burden because of how complete he is.
Drew, before you get in there, I want to address Dana's question here. Dana, we actually were slated for a film session this past Thursday, yesterday, but we were waiting for some All-22 from 2024 to become available. So we'll pick that back up next Thursday, and it's every other Thursday that we'll do those shows. So I'll have that information up on the Patreon in short order this weekend. So be sure to join us next Thursday. All right. Yeah, Drew. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about him. I'm hey man. Listen. It's what was it? New Mexico? New Mexico State? I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. I don't care. This is insane, bro. These numbers are insane.
They are insane. And just like I held Genty, a little bit down, I got to hold T-Mac a little bit down because that New Mexico team, I think the game before that they were terrible too. So I'm gonna put that out there as a disclaimer, right? But as Headley was saying, bro, the reason why he's receiver one is because he is the complete package. Like I can't teach 6'5", bro. I can't, bro. He has enough speed to play the position, no issue, and then he can play any of the receiver positions: the Z, the Y, the X, the F, the T, the Q, whatever you need. Like he can do it, bro, in terms of the receiver position and his ability to kind of like how he said, small feet to work in to be able to separate, got a little twitch to him. Like he has it all, bro. And I know Drew, you're saying, he's not as physical. I think that's the one thing he's not as physical as when we talk about a Mike Evans, right? I don't think he has that quite, but that's something or Drake London. But that's I don't know. But he's so nice with everything else. I don't know that even matters.
The movement ability is on a different level, though. Right.
Like I think it surprises teams, bro.
Yeah.
When he gets in that open field, bro, like it's not left and right, bro. It's north and south, bro. I'm heading out, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. He it's just I don't see a scenario. I don't see any receiver currently that can displace him. That can make him wide receiver too. I don't see it, bro. He's too good, too nice. He has all of what you're looking for from the receiver position, bro.
Yeah, that guy might be in this freshman class, right? Obviously, they're not eligible, but that one or two players might actually be in this freshman class. So we'll certainly keep an eye on it moving forward. Next up among the studs, man, we gotta give Travis Hunter a lot of credit for what he was able to accomplish. Of course, he catches 7 passes from Shador, accounts for 3 TDs, 132 yards. So while the yardage totals aren't as eye-opening compared to McMillan, it's 136 snaps, bro. In week one. One, bro.
Nobody's doing that, bro.
It's insane, bro. And he's absolutely different. He's built different. I wonder if it's going to catch up to him. I think especially in week one out the gate, why? I mean, they're trying to win a game. I get it. And as Prime has said, it's on Travis Hunter. Travis has to let me know, let the coaches know, how to manage
He a
this.
dog.
But
Nah,
dog,
nah,
you got
bro.
the coach.
No,
Well, let me finish my
bro.
point.
He's a
Let me
dog.
finish my point. And you just said it. He's a dog. The coaches have to rein him in.
Exactly.
They have to rein it. It's their responsibility to rein him in. Absolutely.
Because if you leave it up to him, he ain't come out. He played
not
all
coming
the
out.
snaps, bro. What do you mean? Yeah, y'all. Hey, listen. So I tell my children all the time, I gotta protect you from yourself, bro. Like you want to eat candy and cookies and all this other kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like you got to eat substance, right? So I got to protect you from yourself. And this is one of those situations. So yeah, bro, nah, bro. I don't. And to me, the plan should be, if we're playing a duck, a mallard.
It was a close game though. They needed him in that game.
No,
they
they needed him in this. Oh, absolutely. But if we're playing a duck,
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? One side of the ball, maybe a couple snaps here or there on the offensive side, but otherwise, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what makes him great is the ball skills. You know, how he attacks the football at the highest point, through contact, the strength through contact is just that dog too, man. The ball's in the air, that's my football. And, you know, he shows it on defense, he shows it on offense. And I said it last week, man, like it's going to come to a point where he has to make a decision. He's not playing 136 snaps at the next level. You know, you could play him corner, give him the 60 snaps at the corner position, and maybe sprinkling 30 or so snaps at offense. I could see that for Travis Hunter at the next level. Or if he wants to be a full-time wide receiver, then he's not playing corner at all. So, you know, I think that's going to be the plan for him at the next level. But as far as Colorado goes, I see more of these 136 snaps games throughout the whole season, man.
Yeah, they're doing him a disservice under those circumstances, right? Like you said, really unique, special athlete, can run all day. Like he's like a gazelle out there, right? The stamina is crazy, but I just the wear and tear. I think you have to protect him from himself. You do at some point. You're gonna have to get some of that back. Drew, you mentioned it. You know, the competition may allow for that. I don't know though. I don't know that Colorado is necessarily good enough, right, to say, okay, we got this one. You know what I mean? Unless they get the turnovers going, and of course Shadura has it going, whatever the case may be. But that number has to come down. That number definitely has to come down. Otherwise, he's going to burn himself out. Speaking of whether or not he plays, on both sides of the ball at the next level, whether or not he's primarily a corner or receiver. Listen, man, PS2 just got his money, right? Big money, 4 years, like 90-something million or 80-something million, but with the vast majority of it being guaranteed. The corners are getting like 20, 25 million. Receivers are getting 30, 36 million. There it is.
Simple math.
Decision right there. Yeah, simple math.
It's math, bro, at this point, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So the more and more, as much as, and of course we have to evaluate him through the prism of both defensive back as well as receiver, right? And there are areas on either side of the ball that he needs to improve upon. And certainly I think he's capable of that, especially if he hones in on it. But I just hope the body holds up. Certainly. He's a young man. Again, dog mentality, but that's a lot, especially out the gate, man. Out the gate. Yeah, week crazy. 1. Yeah. I know people will argue, well, this is the healthiest he's going to be. Man, listen, your body still has to get in game shape, right? Throughout all the conditioning and everything, you're still actually having to get in game shape. You're not going live physical as frequently as, in the past to actually get yourself prepared for a full game of football, full 60 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But certainly very impressive performance. That's the reason why he's on the studs list this week. The next stud here is the aforementioned Cam Ward. And I want to get more thoughts from you with respect to Cam Ward, because you're really the one who put us on Cam Ward a couple seasons ago, right? Actually, his first season at Wazoo, and you're like, yo, you need to check him out. He looks good. He got a little Rodgers to his game, gunslinger mentality, buy time, so on and so forth. And then you see him and you're like, oh, I see what you're getting at. I see what you're getting at. Of course, he has now become a national headliner here, being on the East Coast, right? Getting to see the rest of the nation getting a chance to actually hone in on what he's capable of. As I mentioned before, playing behind the best offensive line he's played at any level, whether it be Incarnate Word, Wazoo. This is the best offensive line Cam Ward has ever actually played behind. So what are your thoughts on him? What do you think? Where do you think? I mean, you mentioned it. QB2 certainly in the conversation, perhaps even QB1. What has to happen for him to be QB1, Edley?
Bro, he keep putting up performances like he did last week. QB1, bro, because like I said, the difference between him and Shador is Shador, they like to dance around, they like to play backyard football, but Shador sometimes, to his fault, doesn't want to take off for some reason. He's looking down the field and he's getting hit where Cam Ward would be like, hey, let me take the slam dunk. It don't, like Drew said last week, it don't always got to be a 3-point shot from 35 foot out. I could drive to the lane, take the layup, take them 10 yards, get the first down, extend drives. And that's what Cam Ward does, man. I think right now he's just a better decision maker in terms of when to run the football, because as far as arm talent, ball comes out smooth. It's effortless, accurate. Athleticism is a plus. I love the way he maneuvers in the pocket. He extends the play, and he could also extend the play, look downfield. That touchdown when he, like you said, he rolled out left and found Jacoby George in the back of the end zone. That was a special throw, bro. So this guy Cam Ward, like I said, like, he's moving up, bro. He's right now as a stud, but he's also a stock-up guy. I think a lot of people are looking at him now and, like, reevaluating themselves, bro. Because at the beginning of the season, I seen quarterback 8, I seen quarterback 9, I seen quarterback 7, and I'm like, bro, they weren't watching Washington State last season, bro.
Nope.
They didn't
Could have been, bro.
Talent, bro. Because Juice, you said it perfectly, bro. The offensive line protecting him is so key for him, bro. Because last season and the year before, he put everything on his shoulders. He'll roll out 20 yards this way, back up this way, because he wasn't getting the blocking, and he felt the pressure to press and make plays. But when you have an offensive line that's blocking for you, and it just makes everything so easy for him. He can hit his reads. He could go from first to second to check down. And man, he just, because my question mark was the post snap recognition. If it's not designed for him, but with the offensive line, it just
with the time,
with the time, bro.
With the time,
with that time, the wild plays he does that. It's just, man. QB1, bro.
He's rewarding you. He's rewarding you when given the time. That's what it comes down to, right? It's like you said, Headley. He may have been pressing, trying to carry the team. Listen, Miami wasn't even like great at running the football in this game. That's going to improve. They're going to become more balanced as well. So with a quality running game led by Damian Martinez, an improved pass blocking, quality receivers on the perimeter. Listen, I think Miami's tight ends collectively had like 22 receptions all of last year. They had 8 in week 1, bro. Like, it was so much easier to defend Miami a season ago compared to this year. It's literally night and day, right? Drew, you mentioned Clemson and their refusal to make the adjustment and use the middle of the field. It's there. It's there to be had, right? Yep. This was significant because you know what the fan base is saying. Games will be played, right? Miami fans, I'm one of them. We've talked a lot over the last decade plus, you know what I mean, about recruiting and this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be. But when the games have been played from an X&O perspective, from a actual execution perspective, it just hasn't been there. Hasn't been consistent. You understand what I'm saying? It seems like everything has come together here. I saw one play, and I believe Chase Daniel was actually breaking it down. He's on YouTube now. He's doing film reviews. And Cam Ward, as I mentioned, he's so dialed in, bro. Pre-snap. Restrepo peeped a corner blitz coming, right? He saw it coming. He looks to Cam Ward. Cam Ward kind of plays it cool. Just gave him a little thumbs up. Just gave him a little thumbs up, bro. Knew exactly where to go with the football. Saw it coming from a mile away. The corner wasn't necessarily cheating. It was just they were on that side of the field, so they're right up against the boundary, right? And that's typically where that corner blitz come from. Down in distance, where you're at on the field. It's a short, hot corner there to the quarterback. It's a great time to actually send the corner blitz, right? A quarterback who isn't necessarily seeing things prepared, right? Processing, understanding things pre-snap, it's a sack, right? It turns into a big play because, of course, he and receiver are on the same page. So I think people are now seeing what he can do physically. That was never a question mark for us, right? It was processing, pre and post snap, getting the ball out on time. he held the ball a little long on a couple of occasions, going for the kill, going for the juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? Going for the jugular, excuse me, right? But I think he has that flexibility now to do so because of that protection up front. Drew, your thoughts on Cam Ward? Go ahead.
Before you go on, Drew, I thought this came to me, and I'm not comparing these guys at all, but it kind of reminded me of when we watched Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech, and we're like, yo, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're playing backyard football, like you're throwing up these passes, and he didn't look good at Texas Tech, in my opinion, but with the talent there, and then then you went to the NFL with a better offensive line, better weapons, and a better play caller, it completely changed Patrick Mahomes' trajectory, and it reminded me of Cam Ward moving from Washington State to Miami with a better offensive line, better weapons, and better play caller. It elevated his game, bro, and I think the sky's the limit, man. So I just want to throw that in there. It kind of reminds me of Patrick Mahomes' trajectory.
Let me just make this comment with respect to that before you get back in there, Drew. It's interesting you say that because I do think there are some parallels there. But you know who Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid credit for Mahomes' development? It's Alex Smith, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It was the year to actually prepare, to learn how to prepare, right? To learn how to be a pro, to actually take that leap and understand certain things. And of course, prodigious type of talent, right? Once you're comfortable, once the confidence is rolling, that kind of talent is took over. You're right. The protection, Hill, Kelsey, Kareem Hunt in the backfield, like it was all there. It was all there. But this is a little bit different in the sense that this is a transfer, bro. He got to Miami in January.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. He just got there, bro. You do a spring camp, you do a summer camp that starts in August. Like you said, I think Cam Ward has a legitimate shot to make a case for being the top quarterback in this class, for sure.
So I'm going to look at it a little bit differently. The same, but kind of different. So in terms of him being the number one quarterback off the board, I think he has a legitimate shot. And I think you could, if he continues on the path that he's against Florida, then obviously, of course, that's a part of it. But the other part of it for me is that Shador and company and entourage are going to pick the team they want to play for.
Yeah.
So what does that do for other teams that are up there? We just eliminate them off our board immediately, right? Even if we have a shot at them, we don't like that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's fine. You won't play for us, right? So that may buoy Cam Ward in front of Shador simply just because of that, right? But in terms of cool customer in the pocket, he was back there. He had a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. He got to lay down. He got to take a power nap, get back up, you know what I'm saying? And was able to get the ball out, bro. And he was efficient. He made, I think, one or two bad throws, throwing it back across his body. You know what it almost felt like? First of all, it felt a little helpless as a Gator fan because there was no pressure. Number one. Number two.
And that's supposed to be the strength. That's supposed to be the strength of that team. Is up front.
In terms of running?
Run defense.
Run defense? Yes.
Yeah,
I was wondering where the pass rush was going to come from.
No Princely. Yeah.
No Princely.
Yeah.
That killed this team, by the way.
Yeah.
But it looked like he was back there trying stuff. He was so comfortable. I'm just going to try some stuff, right? Some stuff worked out. Most things worked out. Some things didn't, right? So, man, he the real deal. People that had him, like y'all said, at quarterback 8, 9, all that other kind of stuff, they didn't watch him. They put him on there. They put him on their board because that's a name, right? He's transferred to Miami. There's a possibility he could skyrocket, so I want to keep him kind of close. But in reality, they wasn't watching, bro. They wasn't watching, like you said, college football Pac-12 after dark, bro. They wasn't watching it. So that's why CPGM is here to enlighten folks, to let you know, man. You know what I'm saying? We're here for that. You know what I'm saying? We get the early look on guys. We don't hit everybody, but damn it, we hit a lot of them, bro.
We hitting on Cam Ward right now, bro. And he's just so comfortable in uncomfortable situations, bro. It's like that ice water in his vein. It's just so relaxed, so calm, bro. It's like the house could be on fire, bro, and this guy's cool. He's just cool.
He's a dog in the house, bro. You know the dog in the house of the meme?
Yeah, that meme. This is fun. This is fine. Hey, Shador said it, bro. Shador said it. Shador was like, yeah, Cam got it.
Yeah, he knew.
He recognized it because that's what we always talk about with Shador. We always talk about that Terminator mentality, like that. What do you call it? The nervous system, the right system. Nervous system for the position, unflappable. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, man, impressive stuff, and I fully expect him to continue to build on a great start. I think when you talk about these quarterback performances, that was the best defense. Now, mind you, Drew. You know, there were some concerns in terms of whether or not the Gators would be able to actually affect the passer. But as far as environment, a quality of opponent from a defensive perspective, that was probably the best matchup. And it was, you know, he made it look easy. He definitely made it look easy. So certainly a stud here.
And to give a little bit more love too, I thought the Gators defense, although they gave up 41 points, I think a lot of that had to do more with the offense, with them having to keep going back on the field and all that. But I thought the Gator defense was better than last year. I can see some things that I liked about the defense that you know, they just got to get a pass rush. If they don't get a pass rush, it's gonna be a long season. But I saw some things that I like. But you know, Miami, I mean, y'all boys nice, bro. And looking at y'all schedule, y'all got a soft schedule.
They're getting in the playoffs, bro. And then
they in there, bro. Lock them in. Unless the only way that y'all boys
I told you, Cam Boy got to get hurt, bro.
That's it.
No,
I told you. You asked me the keys to the game last week.
I did.
You asked me.
I did. You know what though? You just hope coaching don't get in the way, bro. We don't do a Georgia Tech, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think Cam Ward's going to keep y'all from being anywhere close to anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's, you know, in a close game, make you a little nervous, bro.
I understand that. I understand that sentiment. I do. I am encouraged. I'm encouraged with some of the decisions that Mario made from a coaching staff perspective. He actually had somebody to staff for game management purposes.
That's
right.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? Because Mario's a recruiter, bro. He's a recruiter, bro. That's what he is. He's a talent evaluator and recruiter. So understanding where your deficiencies are, I think he's certainly done that. What encourages me most in terms of the coaching staff is Shannon Dawson. Now I'm getting to see Shannon Dawson's playbook because I didn't see it last year outside of the Texas A&M game. Like, because again, and I've talked about it previously, Van Dyke couldn't handle it, bro.
Yeah.
Van Dyke, it was too much for Van Dyke.
You got to close off the playbook, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring out the index card.
We were limited. We were limited. You understand what I'm saying? I'm seeing under the center. I'm seeing RPO. I'm seeing traditional drop. I'm seeing it all, bro. So I love it because a lot of teams have not seen it, right? There's not a whole lot to work with here in terms of this offense. A lot of it is for the first time. You understand what I'm saying? So the personnel groupings were very diverse. I mean, I'm excited about what I saw from the coaching perspective as well. The team looked prepared. They looked locked in, bro. You know what I'm saying? They, you know, a lot of confidence. And you know, my boy Inez Cooper out there early, chirping on the field. You know what I'm saying? Tone setter. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Miami has a chance to have a special season. Hopefully they keep this guy, number one, upright. But they certainly have a chance to have a special season. One more stud of the week here, and we've mentioned his name a couple of times. I got to give Shador some love, man. He's currently quarterback one. He's still holding on to that quarterback one spot. Big numbers, put up big numbers, 4 TDs, led the nation in passing in week one with 445 yards and completed damn near 80% of his passes, right? So, you know, for all of the angst around the Sanders name, his ability to handle that and compartmentalize and play and execute in the biggest moments it's uncanny, bro. It's uncanny, and you cannot turn a blind eye to that. Again, you may have your reservations because of the bombastic nature of the Sanders family, of Prime itself, and the showmanship, and Colorado, and so on and so forth. All of the pomp and circumstance around that. But between the lines, Shador is tough, and he plays his best in the biggest moments. And I don't know what else you can ask from a quarterback. I mean, he calls it Brady time. He calls it Brady time. Right? He takes his game to another level, man. And sign me up for that. Now, of course, we've talked about, you know, the limitations in terms of where he might want to play, whatever the case may be. And Prime said, I want Travis Hunter and Shador. There's a short list of teams that I want them to play for. It's a different matter. Just in terms of evaluating the player, There's a ton to like about Shedeur Sanders. What are your thoughts here, Drew?
Man, I don't know if there's anything else we need to say about Shedeur, but we don't said it all, man. I mean, he's the total package. The issues, the issues that we have with him, I think as a whole is just him not being able to, not take it off when there's green grass to get versus wanting to take it, to throw it downfield. I think his receivers would love that, but I think his offensive line might not feel the same way, you know what I'm saying, in terms of getting the sure thing. But otherwise, man, he's the real deal. And I know going into the season, one of my concerns for him was starting fast, right? He kind of starts off slow. Now they're behind. Okay, now I gotta make it. Now it's got to be Brady time, but it's Brady time for the entire rest of the game. Versus, maybe we don't have to go into Brady time. Maybe we can, score some points. Obviously the defense was terrible last year, but this year I think the defense is better. And just want to see him continue to start fast and stay fast and just keeping his foot on the gas pedal, because it doesn't appear they're gonna have a running game, by the way.
Yeah, and the offensive line, although it is improved, it's still a sore spot for Colorado. I think he's going to take a lot of hits this season. Just hopefully he can stay healthy throughout the season, because he's going to have a special season, a Heisman season, if he stays healthy. But I still have concerns about the offensive line. We talked about Cam Ward having the offensive line in front of him. Well, Shedeur doesn't have that, and he's going to be pressing more, putting everything on his shoulders, and he doesn't turn the ball over much. He usually makes the right decision, and the poise, being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, just like Cam Ward, they both have that trait going for him. What I like about Shedeur is he's like a point guard. Like, he takes what the defense gives him. He knows when to take the shot. He knows when to dump it down. He knows when to throw a hard spot.
He's not a gunslinger. He's not a gunslinger. He has the arm talent, but he's not a gunslinger, to your point, Headley.
Yeah. So, but I like that about him, bro. I like that he knows the answers to the test. Like, he knows where to go to the football, where to go with the football. It was a play in the game where they could have run out the clock, but he had one-on-one on the outside, and he tried to go for the kill shot, him and Coach Prime. And, I would have ran the ball, but it just shows me that, okay, I know exactly where to go with this football. I see what y'all are running, and that's just his acumen in the film room, bro. Like, watching the tape, just knowing where the defense, knowing where his hot sits, is just between the ears. Shedeur is the real deal, bro. He's the real deal between the ears, bro. In the classroom, just knowing where to go with the football. And he's a facilitator, bro. Like you say, he's not that gunslinger guy, but he knows what. I'll take the 5-yard hit. You give me the 5-yard hitch on the outside, I'm going to take that all day. Oh, you want to come up close? Oh, I'm going to take a shot deep on one-on-one situations, bro. It's just, that's what makes him special, because him and Cam have some of the same characteristics. But I like Shedeur spreading the ball out more, and I like Cam Ward using his legs more. So to me right now, I think they're going to be battling for the Heisman and QB1, QB2. I think those are the two best quarterbacks in the country.
There you have it. Those are your studs of the week. All right, let's talk about some other players. Perhaps not necessarily studs in terms of individual performance, but certainly have helped their draft stock here in the first week of the season. We'll obviously keep our eyes on them. USC LSU, tightly contested matchup there. Quite a few players make our stock up list from that particular game. Let's talk about it. Got Kyron Lacey, Mason Taylor, and Garrett Nussmeier on the offensive side of the ball for LSU, and then Savion Jones showed up big here in this particular contest. Drew, I'll start with you. Give me your thoughts on some of these guys in terms of what you saw as you evaluate the tape.
Yeah, Kyron Lacey is right along with the receivers. We can't call them receiver U, but they got a little bit of a factory over there at LSU in terms of pumping out these receivers, and he's just the next guy.
Are you sure they're not receiver U? Are we certain?
I don't know. I got to think about it. I'm not thinking about it too hard.
Ohio State.
I mean,
that's
the soon to be two highest paid players at the position will be from LSU.
I hear you. But in terms of the volume, the number, you know what I'm saying? It's Ohio State, man. You know what I'm saying? There can only be one position U out there. You know what I'm saying, per position. And I think Ohio State got it. I think LSU is probably next in line. Maybe we'll have to think about it, but he's just the next in line, man. He's got the easy speed, the in and out of the breaks. He's got the swag, the nasty that you kind of want from the position in terms of, just kind of getting under the DB's skin, man. He's a talker, man. Love to run his mouth. In terms of Mason Taylor, I didn't realize. I need to go back to last year.
Let him get out of Florida. Let him get out of Florida, man.
Sometimes it happens, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, NIL talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? NIL talk, So, but in terms of Mason Taylor, I need to go back to last year because I don't remember them using him in the way that they used him in terms of a guy being in motion and doing a bunch. I didn't think he was that athletic. I thought he was a little maybe a little.
I think he was dealing with some injuries. I think he was dealing with some injuries last year as well.
That makes sense. That makes sense because he was receiver too, as far as I was concerned for the receiver for LSU in terms of catching the football, creating separation. Like I'm gonna keep a close eye on him because obviously need to work on the tight end rankings. But I say he right now he's probably firmly in the top 5 in terms of tight ends. Sevion Jones, he just kept showing up, bro. 35, just kept showing up. He just kept being a problem for USC. At a certain point, they had to start chipping him, double teaming him. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a plan, bro. Nice hands, strong hands, violent. Had a little bit of a bull rush here or there. If he wasn't on his way to the quarterback in terms of sacking the quarterback, he was causing a lot of disruption, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to see him continue to do that. I didn't really hear anything about Harold Perkins. I was trying to he's number 7, right? Just want to make sure.
Yeah, he's 7 now.
Right. Okay, just want to make sure. And Garrett Nussmeier, he showed me something in terms of getting the ball out and getting it to his guys, bro. I was kind of looking at him is it Miller Moss or Moss Miller?
No, you got it.
Miller Moss.
Yeah.
But that don't even sound right.
Miller Moss.
Sound like I'm messing it up, bro.
Eminem, bro.
All right, bro. Just between him and Nussmeier and Miller Moss, those are guys that need to get the ball out in terms of being in a rhythm. But I thought Nussmeier was more of the guy where he didn't necessarily need, didn't have to be in the rhythm, but he's also a guy who can get the ball, who can operate outside of the 3-step shop, the 3-step drop or the 5-step drop. Can play a little bit out of system. So I'm gonna continue to watch him. I don't know that he'll ever crack my top 5, but he's a guy I'll continue to watch, man.
Yeah, man. That Nussmeier to Lacey connection, bro, I think it's gonna be something special this season. I know we're gonna miss Jaden Daniels and Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr., but man, they reloaded. They're reloaded again, bro. Nussmeier's arm strength and decisiveness really stands out. And you say he might not be in your top 5. I think he could work his way into that top 5 because what he has over Miller Moss, a player that I like also, is he's a big guy. He has the size. He got what teams covet. He has a stronger arm than the Miller Moss. I like what Miller Moss does, but I think Nussmeier is an intriguing prospect. I'll continue to watch him and see what he does. And then, talking about Kyron Lacey, he's a guy that could be a top 3 receiver in this class. Like, a top 5, top 3 receiver because, other than T-Mac, there's not a guy there's Burden. I like Tess Johnson, Jimmy Horn Jr. But this guy has size. He's 6'2", 200+ pounds. Like, he's legit, bro. And the body control that he plays with along the sidelines and attacking the ball at the highest point, and they move it inside sometimes to create mismatches against linebackers and safeties, bro. Like, I think he's going to be another guy in the NFL, on this LSU, bro. Like, I think he's going to be a stud, and he's moving up my board. He's a stock-up guy, definitely. And Savion Jones, he just kept on popping. This is the size, the length, the motor. He just kept on coming. 35, that pass rusher for LSU, and that's the guy that was standing out more than your boy Harold Perkins. Perkins made some plays early in the game, shot the gap, and Perkins athletic, but your boy Savion just kept on coming all game long. And yeah, LSU got a lot of good prospects, bro. At the beginning, you thought it was okay. It's Harold Perkins and everybody else, but Lacey's a stud. I think Nussmeier is gonna get better and better, and then Savion Jones started to pop up also. So LSU's in really good hands.
All right, let's go to the Trojans. We got Miller Moss and Kamari Ramsey as stock-up individuals. What were your thoughts on their performance, Headley?
Yeah, Miller Moss got guts, bro. He's a guy, like I said, he's not the biggest guy. They got him at 6'2", but he looks even smaller than 6'2", so I'll see what the measurements are with him. But he's a guy that will stand in the pocket, deliver, guys all over him, stare down the barrel and still deliver. He always gives his receiver a chance on the play. And sometimes that could work out against him because he throws it in traffic often also. So it's just something he got to work on. But, bro, I just love his moxie. And he's a guy that has battled. He's been there. And guys just kept on jumping in front of him. Caleb, you can't really knock that. But it's like he stayed in there and he's worked. And he's a starter right now. I think he went through some stuff also off the field, if I'm not mistaken. But now he's the guy. And, I like the tape last season against Louisville. And against LSU this year, he did well against him. He outdueled Nussmeier. He won that football game. So, he's an interesting guy. And then Kamari Ramsey. Yeah, I was watching him also. I got some notes on him because Eric Gentry stood out to me because of his size. Yep. 6'6", 215. I just don't know what position he's going to play. Yeah, he's a linebacker, but you're only 215 pounds. But Ramsey, the UCLA safety transfer, he stood out to me like all over the place, coming downhill. He's number 7, right? He's not like the previous number 7 that they had before. He'll come down the head and tackle and do all that kind of stuff. And I also like number 2 for them, Jalen Smith. He was more a slot kind of safety hybrid, but they played him a lot outside this game. He was an outside corner, which I didn't really see him do much last season. So a lot of versatility with Jalen Smith. So USC got some good defenders, man, for a change this season. Some guys just bulked up also. I think they got a new strength and conditioning coach over there.
Yes, 2 guys they showed.
Bear Alexander got bigger, so maybe we can see more from Bear Alexander this season. So, man, USC defense and LSU defense, they looked improved. I thought it was going to be a high scoring. I bet USC to win, but I also bet the over, and the over didn't hit, man, because the defenses, man, they were making timely plays at big moments, man. So, man, 2 guys to watch, man. Stock up, Miller Moss and Kamari Ramsey.
Now, you said it in terms of Miller Moss, in terms of him standing in the pocket, taking hits, getting the ball out. And the thing about him too is, man, like, you always want to see this with a player in terms of when there's a mistake made. You know what I'm saying? With a quarterback, if it's a mistake made, it could be a big mistake. Oops. You know what I'm saying? How do you come back from that, right? And he's just kind of unflappable, man. I don't think he's to the level of Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. But it's just like, okay, next play. That's just okay, next play. You know what I'm saying? He has a good command of the offense, gets the ball out timely. Again, not the athlete that Nussmeier is or ever can be, but he's efficient in the pocket, man. Like, he moves around, he'll back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll give his receivers time. Offensive lineman needs a little bit of help. He'll slide to the left, slide to the right, whatever it is to keep the play alive. You know what I'm saying? So, and you want that from your quarterback. Kamari Ramsey, bro. Listen, I was looking for a guy. I was looking at the D line. I'm looking at the second level. Wasn't really looking at the secondary. And this dude just kept. I mean, he was trying to take people's soul out there, bro. A couple of times, bro. You know what I'm saying? The running back got stood up, and he would just come in and just. I mean, listen, I know this word is usually a bad word. You know what I'm saying? He was going in there crashing out, bro. I'm like, bro, you gotta protect yourself, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gonna make it to the league. You know what I'm saying? And listen, he's, if I'm not mistaken, the UCLA, what was it? The defensive coordinator left there to go to USC. Is that correct? Am I right about that? Yeah. So he knows this defense very, very well. You know what I'm saying? So I think he was one of the guys who was kind of the moving piece within that defense, and you could tell he knew it. You know what I'm saying? Lining people up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shift over. Let's adjust the alignment, whatever is needed to be. He was there, man. But he's the complete opposite of what Kalen Bullock was last year in terms of the running game and being able to tackle. And sometimes he came with a little bit too much fire. You know what I'm saying? Got to wrap up. But he's a guy that you got to continue to watch. You talked about Gentry. I'm looking at him. I'm like, damn, because he'll come downhill too, and he'll lay some pads. But what is he? You know what I'm saying? They have him coming off the edge here and there. Going through the A gap, the B gap. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what he is, because I don't even know what you call him, a tweener, because he's not even, he's a little bit on the light side, you know what I'm saying, in terms of that. So what is he? And then in terms of the USC defense, they went from being this let's try some stuff defense. You know what I'm saying? You had last year,
simplify.
This is just attack. I need you start here. I need you to end up here. There's no thinking, just get downhill. Last year, you could tell guys were thinking as the play was happening and all kind of busted coverages and gaps are opening because we're trying to – in college football, I think that's the best way to go about it is just to be just point A to point B, bro. You don't need to do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Let's just simplify it. Unless you got, guys that have been there forever, then we can get a little bit cute and you know what I'm saying? But
really experienced,
yes.
steeped in your system. Yeah.
But outside of that, bro, we don't need that. And if you have – like Kamari Ramsey, you have that guy who can do that for your defense. He's the perfect guy to do that in terms of moving things around and being where I need you to be, So, but yeah, man, that's USC. Like Kelly said, was impressed with both of the defenses. Highly impressed.
No, it was a good game. Good game. A lot of prospects to consider. We have a finite amount of space in terms of stock up, but certainly lots of prospects to consider from that particular contest. We got Xavier Restrepo from the offensive side of the ball here from Miami, and then Tyler Barron. And I'm actually going to start with Barron. I'll let you touch on pause. Restrepo, Drew. I said it in the chat, man, and I'm going to say it here. I'm going to put it on wax, man. Somebody, you're going to have to convince me that James Pierce is a better player than Tyler Barron, bro. You're going to have to convince me, bro. Tyler Barron's a problem, bro. When I was evaluating James Pierce, number 9 from Tennessee was the guy that kept flashing, right? Yep. Aside from those a handful of really impressive performances, you could question, the competency, the ability of the opposing offensive line, because of course, when James Pierce faced upper echelon contests, he was basically a non-factor in those contests. Tyler Barron was a consistent force game in and game out. Despite not always having great counting numbers, you could see him making an impact game in and game out. In this first game against UF, they had no answer for him, bro. They had no answer for him. I thought he was the best defensive lineman we had. Ruben Bain got hurt early in that game. Saw some flashes from Elijah Alston, Mesidor. But Tyler Barron was, in my opinion, clearly the best defensive lineman in that particular game. And there's a lot of NFL talent on either side of the line of scrimmage, whether it be, when I say line of scrimmage, I mean in terms of the field. The Gators have NFL talent on defensive line as well as Miami. I thought Barron was clearly the best for either team. Your thoughts on Barron, Drew?
Yeah, man, he was unblockable at times. He was picking on the right side in particular. Like he just knew, I can run around this guy, I can run through this guy, I can get inside of him. Like it was somebody need to call 911, bro. Get some officers out there because it was abuse consistently, man. I think, like you said, he's the total package. And we need to do we might need to create a series, bro, where this is what the masses are saying it's this guy. CPGM is saying it's this guy. You know what I'm saying? James Pierce over here, Tyler Barron over here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I don't know if y'all ready to go there. I'm just saying, bro. From my perspective, bro, the film that I've studied, I don't see Pierce as a clearly better player than Tyler Barron, bro. I don't see it.
Nah, Barron's the better complete all-around player. He dominated his assignments in this game against the run, against the pass. Pierce, pass rusher. Around the edge. Yeah. He bends it, but Tyler Barron, he could do that and play the run. Play with physicality. Be physical up front. Set the edge. Make plays. And like you said, he was beating up on the right tackle for Florida. So, yeah, we could go there. Drew. We could go there, Juice. Like Barron versus Pierce. Let's put it on wax, bro. Like,
let's put it on wax.
He's the more complete player. He's the better player right now, all around. I know Pierce has that flashiness. He could, that bend, that speed rush, but that's all he has right now. That's all he has right now. He has no real power to his rush game, and he has no power in the run game. So he's really a one-trick pony. Where Barron, he's a complete. He can do it all. And then Restrepo, he's just a slot. He's a slot guy. That's what he is. He's a what do they call it?
Plays it very, very well though. He
does, bro. They call it the quintessential slot. Is that the word they use for that?
Yeah.
That's what he is. And I got to be careful with these slot guys, man, going forward, because I fall in love with slot guys, but at the next level, bro. Yeah. It's big boy.
And that's my point. And Drew mentioned in our chat, he was like, "Yo, you got to show Restrepo more."
Get that man his flowers, bro.
I think Restrepo cannot be covered by linebackers and safeties, but legitimate nickel corners
Gonna get him. Okay,
and that's what he's going to face at the next level. That's my point. And he's going to face linebackers that are capable or safeties that are actually capable in coverage at the next level. I think certainly an experienced receiver understands how to use his leverage. Pretty sure hands. Like, he's a really good player, but I'm not ready to say, you know what, he is definitively the top slot in the class because, and I'm not suggesting that's what you're saying, but Restrepo's going to put up big numbers. He put up big numbers last year. He touched a band. He touched a band last year, right?
Yeah.
With very inconsistent quarterback play. So he clearly is capable, but I think he tends to feast on safeties who may not necessarily be all that great in man-to-man coverage and linebackers who are still trying to figure it out. When he has faced NFL caliber slots, and I go back to Jerry and Jones, the Thomases from FSU, like he was. I don't think he caught a pass in that game last year. I don't think he caught a pass, bro. That can't happen. You're the man. You're the go-to receiver. That cannot happen, bro.
Yeah. I think Restrepo is one of those guys where, okay, really great college player, NFL on the next level, we'll see. It has to be perfect for him. He has to have a quarterback that's going to get him the ball, and he has to have an offensive system, a scheme that gets him the ball also. I don't think he could say, hey, let me line up. I'm going to win this one-on-one coverage. Like you said, against upper echelon corners, he's not going to do it. He don't have like, I like guys like, if you're going to be a slot guy, Jaden Reed, right? Tej Johnson, you got juice, and you could separate. Like, you got that thing, that athleticism at the next level, bro. If you're just a slot guy with lack of athleticism, like, I don't know how that's going to translate to the next level if you're not in a perfect system.
Right. If you're not flanked by true alphas, you understand what I'm saying? I understand your point. Drew, tell us why we're wrong. Why are we wrong?
Restrepo, I got you, bro. No, I gotta pay attention to him more, man. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna look into it, bro. But Restrepo, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it, man. They haters, bro. Don't worry about it.
Haters out here. All right, let's keep it going. Oh no, go ahead.
But before you go, real quick, I want to give one more Miami guy some love. I don't know how to say his name. It's the middle linebacker for y'all boys.
Oh, Mayoga.
Yeah, he balled, bro.
Mayoga.
Kiko,
ball, bro.
Yeah, Kiko is my only concern about him is athleticism.
Yeah. 2-down linebacker.
Yeah.
Because he blitzes really well too.
Oh yeah, he does.
He does.
Yeah, he definitely does. Like there's tape last year where it's like, wow, and then there's tape like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some peaks and valleys in his play, but
you got to set him on third down. You don't want him in coverage.
You know what? You know where he would fit very, very well. And I don't know if they're still running it over there with the new coach, but like in New England, bro, we're gonna put you in the best position to succeed on the defense over there. He'd be a star over there, bro.
I'm with you there.
Hey,
3-4 inside linebacker.
One more guy that flashed. He's a redshirt sophomore, so I'm not sure if he's coming out. But 99. Ahmed Moten, senior, I thought he flashed in that game as well. He was doing his thing.
He's taking a step. He struggled last year. He's taking a step, and then again, I think that was an area of concern, that defensive line. That's why Mario went so heavy in the portal. A lot of the defensive linemen that they've recruited aren't necessarily ready. Outside of Justin Scott. Justin Scott's a monster. They're not ready yet, right? They're tweeners right now. You know what I'm saying? They're still trying to get, develop their man body, so they need some time to develop. So, but Moten is one of the bigger players that were already on the roster, and he's taking a step for sure. So, it's definitely a player to keep your eye on. I'd like to see him play at least one more year, though. I mean,
me too.
He could certainly help himself this year, but I think he plays at least through his junior season. All right, let's keep it going here with the stock up portion of tonight's show. Jalen Walker. Headley, your guy. Listen, when he entered the game, when he was on the field, man, he was a difference maker. He took the game over at one point. Took the game over at one point. We also have Blake Miller, who held up very well in this particular contest. Of course, quarterback coach didn't necessarily do him any favors. Keon Sabb, the transfer from Michigan, made his mark immediately with a pair of INTs. And we talked about Travis Hunter and Shador. Jimmy Horn Jr. might be one of those slots with that juice. You know what I mean? Yep. So I'll start with you, Headley. Let's talk about these 4 players.
Well, I wrote down 5 words. here in my notes. Jalen Walker is a stud. Like, this guy's a stud, bro. Like, he doesn't start. You know, I don't know what's going on. Why he never starts.
It's Georgia.
But once he comes in the game, he's a difference maker, bro. And it's not just he's a pass. He can rush the passer. He play off-ball linebacker, but against the run also, bro. Like, this guy can hold up at the point of attack, stack and shed, and get, like, his speed to the sideline. He made back-to-back plays. I think we put it out on a short right on YouTube, and, like, he's the best pass rusher to me. I know Michael Williams gets a lot of the love. I see Michael Williams, like, might go number 1 in the class. I don't see that for Michael Williams.
Measurables, bro.
He's more of a
that length, you know,
against the run and stuff. But if you want a pass rusher, like the country, I don't know if they knew about Jalen Walker, but I think he showed up big in that first week against Clemson, and I think they're starting to know about what Jalen Walker could bring. I see somewhere also like Georgia don't.
I was gonna bring that up.
Guys don't go to the NFL. They don't translate well to the NFL, especially their pass rushers. I think Jalen Walker is different. I think he's one of those guys where he is going to translate to the next level, bro, and be a difference maker as a pass rusher. And then as far as Blake Miller, he aced his first major test, bro. This was a major test. Georgia got those pass rushers, and he held up. You know, nothing was on him. And what was surprising about Blake Miller is we know he's quick. He can get there with speed, but his anchor held up. Physicality against Michael. Like,
that weight room.
It like he's getting a little stronger out there. So he's a guy that has a stock up. Like, I had him more of a end of the first, second round type of guy. But if he continues to get stronger and play more physical, he could be one of those guys that get in the first round. And then Keon Sabb, man, the transfer from Michigan, man, like, interceptions, bro, the instincts, jumping, reading the quarterback eyes, getting in front of the football. And when he runs, bro, all I saw was legs. He's one of those high runners with those legs. He's getting down the sidelines, and man, he's a guy to watch for Alabama. And then, like you said, Jimmy Horn Jr., bro, like, got the juice, bro. Like, the slot receivers, to me, at the next level, you got to be like a Jaden Reed, bro. Like, Jaden Reed's getting off right now because of that juice after the catch. And Horn has that. He's like a running back after the catch. He's really good in small spaces. His speed is really good. And to me, he's a route runner. He can win against man. He can win against zone. And he's a guy to watch also. I think his stock is going up. So, yeah, these all 4 of these guys, man, had big performances in week 1.
Yeah, we can start with Jalen Walker. I didn't see him early in the game, like Headley said, but when he came on the field, it was an immediate impact. And I think the concern I think that I may have with him is that he doesn't play enough snaps. So I don't know what he looks like as a full-time player, right? If we're talking about him being a first-round pick, that's what we're saying. I don't know if that's what we're saying, but if that's what we're saying, I need to see more snaps. And unfortunately, he plays for Georgia where they got a system and he comes in and and what does it look like when you're in a game where both teams are in the game? Because at a certain point in that Clemson game, that bit was over, bro. Like, all intents and purposes, that bit was over. Pin your ears back, go get the quarterback, right? But what does it look like this year when you're playing more snaps and the other team can actually run the football and keep things kind of balanced or keep you honest, right? Again, I think can defend the run. Again, obviously he can rush the passer. But what does that look like with more snaps? So that's kind of what I'm looking for from him. But in terms of against Clemson, I mean, he kind of shut the door, if you will, in terms of that game.
Yeah, I think before you go on, I think Jalen Walker's going to go back to school just because of what you said, bro. He wants to be. I think he's going to go back to school, get the full-time starting reps, and be a monster next season, man. That's my guess right now because he's only a sophomore right now, so he got a lot of eligibility left.
They got him listed as a junior here on ESPN.
He's a junior?
Yeah.
I thought he was a sophomore. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
but I think he's going to go back to school so he can get those full complement of snaps like you're talking about and try to be like a top 10 pick. Because if he comes out now, I don't know if he's going to be that high in the draft, but if he goes back to school and shows it as a full-time starter, I think he could be one of those top 10 guys.
I agree. I mean, y'all talked about Blake Miller in terms of him holding up. He's checking those boxes that we wanted to see going into going into this season. And that's what we'll continue to watch him. Keon Sabb, I didn't get to watch him. I just saw the highlights in terms of the 2 picks. He looked good. You like to see guys who transfer over. What does it look like? Obviously Alabama losing. Who was it they lost? They lost your boy from went to Ohio State.
Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs, and they just said, okay, well, so we just slide you in, and is he playing safety, or is he playing the star position? That would be my
I think
question.
they move him around, but I think he is that star.
Star?
I think he's that star.
I'm gonna check him this week because I think they play USF this week. So, or this week, tomorrow, talking about. And then Jimmy Horn, man. I was listening to something. I think it was Shador and Dion were talking about Jimmy Horn. Like he's that guy, bro. Like he's no nonsense. He's all about football. You know what I'm saying? You guys talked about him being, that slot that we would want. We don't want y'all don't want the Restrepo slot. Y'all want the Tez Johnson's type of slot, which I completely understand. I think he is in that mold of slot. Got the speed, got the juice. I think he's going to continue. I think he's going to continue with this type of production through the entire season. I know they got some guys, but I think in terms of the receiver position, I think he is the guy for them.
Yeah, I would say so. In the red zone, it becomes a Travis Hunter game, but between the 20s, Jimmy Horn, that seems to be where Shador is looking. He's looking for Jimmy Horn, so makes a lot of sense. I was impressed by Blake Miller, man. I really was, because that was a tall order, as Headley put it. First major test, and Blake Miller helped up. He held up, and Clemson don't do nothing to help their players, right? From an execution perspective, from a protection perspective. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned the right tackle for UF, getting beat like a drum, and your boy, he didn't do nothing. He didn't do anything in order to actually help the young man. The chip, line a tight end over there, do something to kind of switch things up. Man, listen, coaches outsmart themselves all the time, and they do it so repeatedly. We just watched during the opener in the NFL where the Ravens, in the most critical time of the game, as the game is coming to an end, did a full slide away from Chris Jones, bro, and tried to block him with a running back. To Justice Hill's credit, he stuck his nose in there. He stuck his nose in there. But this is the highest level, bro. The highest level. So it never surprises me when coaches don't necessarily do the smart thing, or players fail to execute, because I don't know who's calling the protections there for Baltimore. I know there's a lot of new faces along that offensive line. First game of the season for UF. So certainly got things to clean up there. But really impressed by Blake Miller, because I think there's a lot of opportunity here for, tackles 3 through 7, 3 through 10, how that all shakes out. You know what I mean? Teams are always looking for offensive linemen who can come in and not only have the requisite athleticism to hold up in the passing game, but obviously can climb and move bodies and create rushing lanes. So Blake Miller certainly took a big step forward. We were actually keen on him based on our summer scouting. Clearly some ability there, but spent a lot of time on the ground. And clearly looked like he didn't necessarily have the requisite functional strength. It appears he's been in the weight room. It's appeared that he's been working on his technique, and as Headley mentioned, an improved anchor will go a long way in terms of bolstering his draft stock. So certainly stock up there with Blake Miller. Mr. C. Prasky, that might be your future right tackle. You never know. And yes, absolutely. They do dumb stuff all the time. There you go. Slanted the 1 yard line. Should have given it to beast mode. All right. Pardon me. Excuse me. Let's talk about. I do want to touch on another game. Notre Dame, Texas A&M.
Yeah. Watching that game, there were times where it was kind of watching paint dry. But I'll say this: that Notre Dame, I think both defenses actually played well. But I think the Notre Dame defense is going to be something that's going to carry them throughout the season. Them boys was the real deal. Xavier Watts, he cleaned up, got himself another interception. I think they said he led the country, if I'm not mistaken. I think he shared it with somebody else in terms of interceptions. And then you saw Benjamin Morrison out there, probably the number one corner. I think he's going to be making some moves. commentator. I forget who it says. He's possibly the number one corner. Headley, is that your number one corner?
Yeah, I'm gonna put him number one. I think he's the best man corner in the class. I think Will Johnson is probably the best zone corner in the class. But I like my guy to play some man. You got to mix in that man. So I'm gonna put him as cornerback one, just ahead of Will Johnson. Then you got Travis Hunter. Like, who knows what position he's playing, because I think he can play man and zone. I think he's the best combination out of the corner. So I think all three corners are top 10 guys in this class.
They had him. They had him playing in a slot a lot in that game.
Yeah, he can move around too.
Yeah, he can move around. He looked comfortable doing it. And then in terms of the Texas A&M defense, I was looking for Shamar Turner to do a little bit more. I thought he held up, but I said this, going into the season, I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to see him take that next step because of how they're using him. They have him inside. I want to see him outside. I don't think that we're ever going to see him outside on a consistent basis. But Nick Scourton, my bad. That dude right there might be a game record, bro. 290. Can he play inside too? I think he can. But he's a menace on the outside. He was abusing them, that left tackle and the right tackle, who I think both were freshmen for Notre Dame. He was all over the place. He couldn't be blocked. They were smart enough to kind of slide a tight end over there to help, to chip him, to slow him down. But he's the total package in terms of size, speed. Got a little twitch to him, but he plays with a lot of physicality and violence. But he's got some moves in terms of a spin, a chop, a swim. But he cleaned up really well. When you talk about the two quarterbacks, I thought Riley Leonard played better than Connor Wegman. I thought Wegman, he's just one of those guys where if everything is not perfect, similar to DJU, a bad play is probably gonna happen, or a throw that should have been thrown is not going to be made. It just has to be clearly defined for him to make those moves. I think he's one of those guys that's actually in front of Cam Ward for some folks. I hope after the game they watch that's not the case anymore. But yeah, man, that game was, it was.
Yeah.
I was expecting a little bit more fireworks, but those defenses played well.
Yeah, man, I love this game, Drew, man. I hit big on this game, bro. That parlay came through on this game, man. I hit that under. I hit that Notre Dame for the win, and man, I loved it, bro. And you know what I thought? Because the biggest storyline to me in this game was a true freshman left tackle starting against you guy Nick Scourton and that Texas A&M D. And I thought Notre Dame did a really good job of helping them out. Quick hitters, design plays, that's running the football period. And like you said, with the right tackle for Florida, they didn't do that for him, bro. That guy was getting beat like a drum. And this true freshman left tackle, I know he got beat a couple times, but I thought Notre Dame game plan and what they did really helped him out. I thought, they ran a running back committee, number 4, the running back for Notre Dame. I'll get his name right now. Jeremiah Love. He's a true sophomore, so he's not draft eligible, but him, the other running back, and Riley Leonard, bro, it's like a three-headed monster, because Riley Leonard is like another ball carrier on that football team. And, you talked about the secondary, Benmo, my boy Benjamin Morrison, Xavier Watts, my other guy, but, bro, number 8, number 29, not draft eligible, but I didn't even know about these guys, bro. And they played incredible. Aiden Schuler, the the safety for Notre Dame redshirt freshman, and Christian Gray, the true sophomore. I thought those guys were battling. So after Benjamin Morrison leaves and Xavier Watts leaves, I think they're still going to be in good hands with those guys. And Le'Veon Moss, the running back for Texas A&M, I thought he stood out. I wasn't aware of how athletic he was and how comfortable out of the backfield he is. He's like a guy that they'll put him out wide or in the slot, and he'll rock guys up. He looks like a wide receiver. His name is Le'Veon Moss. So, maybe that has something to do with it. Le'Veon Bell, Randy Moss. Maybe that's like
creative player.
I don't know what he is, bro, but I didn't realize how athletic and how good of a pass catcher he was. So he's a guy that I'm going to be watching. Howard Cross, he didn't look like himself. I don't know if he's battling an injury. He didn't play as much snaps as he usually plays, but, his hands, bro. He showcased his hands on one of those reps, and I thought he had one. He has one of the best hands as a interior pass rusher in the country. And what else I have here? I say Notre Dame secondary is special. They could create pass rush and leave those guys on one-on-one situations. Like that's if you could bring a pass rush and bring 5-6 guys and be comfortable still on the back end, I think that's what's going to carry Notre Dame throughout the whole season. I thought Riley Leonard did his thing from the pocket. I was poo-pooing Riley Leonard all off season, like he's a vanilla Vic. Running quarterback. And I thought he was comfortable. I got to give him a little more respect, Drew, because I thought he was comfortable inside the pocket. He was inaccurate at times. But when he used his legs and, you know what he reminded me of in college? I hate the comp thing, bro, but I remember Josh Allen in college being inaccurate, running around, and I think Riley Leonard's legs is similar to Josh Allen's legs. So if he could rein in a passing game like Josh Allen did at the next level, we'll see with Riley Leonard. I'm a little hesitant on him still. He got to show me some more. But if he could stay in that pocket, deliver the ball, because sometimes when I watched him before, he was a more jittery in the pocket, but he seemed more comfortable in his first game. And Nick Scourton, bro, heavy hands, power profile, nimble feet. Man, the spin move. He's a complete guy. We talked about Tyler Barrett from Miami, and Scourton's another guy where his game is complete. Pass rusher against the rush. He's just one of those greasy guys that just leans on you for 60 minutes, and there's nothing you can do with him. After a while, he's just going to take over because I just can't compete with this guy anymore. And it's fourth quarter. I'm tired, and he's still beating me, bro. So Scourton is a guy that he's a first-round talent, and man, what do you think? Top 15, Drew? Think he's a top 15 guy? I don't know how.
I was going to ask y'all. I don't know if he's
going to be a double-digit sack guy. So
I think they're going to people that are going to want to kick him inside. I have a feeling that may be the case. So I think he's definitely a top 15 guy simply because of that. I mean, you spoke about all the other stuff that he can do.
I like him on the edge.
No, I love him on the edge. I'm not kicking him inside, but there's going to be somebody or two that are going to say we could kick him inside on certain downs in certain situations and on the edge on certain situations. I think he's a versatile player. But no, I'm keeping my man on edge if it's me.
Scourton, Pierce, or Michael? At this point,
I'll probably go Scourton. Yeah, he's greasy. He's greasy.
You know what, bro? That's what we're gonna do right there, bro. We're gonna start throwing some polls up, bro.
All right, let's do it.
Comparing players right now. Who you taking?
We need to hear it. We definitely need to hear it. All right. That covers the Notre Dame and Texas A&M game. Another interesting, intriguing matchup. A lot of defense in this one. Good game to evaluate for NFL draft purposes for sure. Take a look here. What else do we have? Talked about Florida, Miami, Clemson, Georgia, USC versus LSU. There was one player from that Boston College game probably could have made our stock up list. His name is escaping me. So
the African.
It was the edge. It was the edge. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oka. Is it Oka? I'm pulling it up right now. Hold on.
Ezaraku.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. It's
Number
Donovan
4?
Ezaraku.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6. Okay. Yeah. Number 6.
Donovan Ezaraku. This was entirely too much. It was entirely too much for that FSU offensive line to handle. Again, we were expecting much more from a pretty veteran group up front, a group that held up pretty well last year. Jordan Travis obviously had the ability to extend plays, but the way they were able to run the football, FSU that is, certainly we expected more. And Ezaraku really made a name for himself in a primetime game, right? You have most of the country's eyes on you. It's really the only game on at the time, and he came up big. So we'll continue to keep an eye on him at Boston College. He's a senior player there, so definitely draft eligible. And I believe Jim Nagy from the Senior Bowl is already kind of zeroing in on him in terms of an invite. So hopefully we'll get to see him in January, February of next year at the Senior Bowl. All right, let's do a quick preview. There's some, not a lot, but there are a few intriguing games here for week 2. Right? I don't know. I don't know if I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past anything. I don't know if week 2 is gonna hold up to the excitement of week 1. Of course, we've been waiting for football, right? We've been waiting for football. So all of the buildup obviously is included in that. But handful of games here we'll be keying in on to evaluate prospects. You got NC State versus Tennessee, South Carolina versus Kentucky. Of course, South Carolina has that 6-star edge, Dylan Stewart, true freshman. Oklahoma State and Arkansas, a lot of prospects in that one to evaluate. And then, of course, the big matchup. And this is really the one I want to talk about. Of course, you can touch on the others, but certainly I want to talk about this Michigan and Texas matchup. All right, Texas traveling to the Big House, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is a huge litmus test for Quinn Ewers. A lot of conversation in terms of Ewers having taken a step as far as his recognition, his processing, how quickly he's getting the ball out. They were not tested by Colorado State. They were not tested by Colorado State at all, despite all of the controversy around Michigan. I think this team, just from a talent perspective, certainly will give Texas a much better fight in this particular matchup, a much better look at Quinn Ewers as far as evaluation is concerned. What are you looking for from him in this game, Headley?
Let's see if he can build off of week one. And, I saw the line at +7.5. I like that for Michigan. Michigan's defense, they got some guys up front. You got Mason Graham, you got Kenneth Grant. A lot of love for Josiah Stewart out there. I've seen Jim Nagy tweeting about him. So can we protect Quinn Ewers to find his guys? Your boy Kelvin Banks, he didn't have a good week one. He kind of struggled in week one. What team did they play? Who did Texas play again?
Colorado State.
Colorado State.
Yeah. So a matchup you thought he would dominate, he kind of struggled there. So against this Michigan defensive line, let's see if they could protect Quinn Ewers to find his guys down the field. Also looking at guys, you got Will Johnson out there for Michigan. You got the linebacker also, Jay-Sean Barham for Michigan. So to me, it's going to be Michigan's defense versus Texas offense. Let's see who wins that matchup. I think whoever wins that matchup could win the game. I think Michigan could win this game. And we'll see, man. Isaiah Bond, I saw him get in the end zone. Nice corner route, caught that touchdown. And Donovan Edwards, I think the offense should go through Donovan Edwards here in the run and the passing game. I think Michigan offense, they took a big step back. A lot of guys went pro. Roman Wilson, Cornelius Johnson, Blake Corum, pretty much the whole offensive line went pro. So the quarterback went pro, JJ McCarthy. So this is a whole new look offense here. You got Colson Loveland and Donovan Edwards. I will feed those guys the entire game and slow Texas defense up. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a big matchup, man. We'll see, man. Like I said, I like Michigan +7.5.
Oh, man. My concern is I don't know, and you said it, what we're going to get from the Michigan offense. I just don't know. And so that's a little bit scary for me. But I love the Michigan defense going up against the Texas offense, man. And what I want to see from Quinn Ewers, I'm just gonna say it that way, is I want him to be efficient. I want him to get the ball out timely. That might be a little bit of a struggle here because of the Michigan defense. I don't want to see the ball floaty over the middle of the field.
Cut it loose. I want to see him cut it loose.
Just cut it loose, man. Fit it in them tight windows, because there's probably going to be a couple of tight windows. Last year, this Michigan defense was one of the best. You watched the tape; it was probably the best in terms of the scheme they were running, where people were supposed to be. This is going to be a challenge for them, right? In terms of Isaiah Bond, I just want to see more, man. He had 5 catches for 61 and a touchdown. I just want to see more. I want to see a breakout game from him, right? Going up against Will Johnson in this game on occasion here or there. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. They're going to have him traveling or what.
Hey, you know about Wingo? You know about Wingo?
I mean,
another freshman, bro.
Listen,
bro.
There will be no excuses. There will be no excuses offensively for Ewers. It just won't be, right? So yeah, this is gonna be a big test, man. I think I'm gonna take I don't know, man. That Michigan offense scares me, bro. In terms of the +7, I don't know, bro. It scares me. It just scares me. Who did they play last week? And they beat them 30-10, I think it was.
Michigan. It was a close game too. I think they pulled away after a while.
It was Fresno State, bro.
Fresno State.
Yeah, I mean that's not a slouch, but I was expecting more. I don't know what the point spread for that was, but yeah, man, we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Got your boy Jaden Blue Juice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he didn't.
I think that's the X factor right there.
That's what it is.
And not on the ground, but through the air. Jaden Blue in the passing game is the X factor for me. Yeah, but I'll be zeroing in on yours. I mean, you can't help but watch Michigan's defensive front. Actually every level of the defense, right? They're NFL players at every level of it. But this is a legitimate test. The last time we saw yours in a competitive game against a competitive opponent was in the college football playoff against Washington, and I didn't like what I saw. I didn't. I've had my concerns about him. Drew, you mentioned a guy that highly touted as a recruit. Of course, he started his career at Ohio State, transfers to Texas. This not necessarily understanding what type of touch to put on the football and when to drive the football, right? But seemingly, based on what we saw from last week, he very decisive, understood where to go with the football. Whatever Colorado State kind of tried to throw at him, he seemed to have the answers to the test. So with stiffer competition this time around, albeit Michigan's offense isn't necessarily up to snuff in terms of complementing its defense just yet, I really do want to see yours go out there and be the field general that people are claiming that he is, that they're saying that he's turned the corner. So I want to see it. I want to see it in a hostile environment, see whether or not you're capable of actually leading this team and making a mark against a very, very good, talented defense here in Michigan. So I'll be keen on that. One's I think that's a 12 kickoff. I think that's a noon kickoff. So we're going to get that one out the way early. I like these marquee matchups early.
Yeah, 12, right?
I do, bro.
I do too.
Set the table, bro. I love these marquee matchups early, man. So looking forward to that. Among the other games that I mentioned, NC State, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, Oklahoma State, Arkansas. Any of those games you guys want to kind of preview, or are we good here? Can we let it rest?
I think that Oklahoma State, Arkansas game, like you said, a lot of good prospects in that game. I watched Oklahoma State, last week, and they like Brennan Presley. They like to get him the ball in space, and Ollie Gordon, bro, like this guy,
is he playing, bro?
Bro, he played.
No. Is he playing this week though?
Oh, what happened with him? He got hurt?
Nah, I don't know if it was true, bro. But I saw something on Twitter.
Bro. It's some things out there, bro.
You talking about the report?
Yeah. I saw What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
That's wild, bro.
But bro, for such a high running style, like he makes a lot of guys miss at his feet, bro. Like he just has these nimble movements for a big guy. Like he breaks a ton of tackles. I think he might lead the country in broken tackles, man. And it just speaks to his contact balance. He's a workhorse type running back. He's patient. His feet really stands out. So, I really like what I saw from Ollie Gordon against South Dakota State. So just watching him, and then on the other side of the ball, bro, you got your boy, the pass rusher, Colin Oliver, a little undersized, but
Nick Martin,
man, he's a guy that comes. He's always coming. Pause. Yeah.
Got Nick Martin at the second level too. We talked about his speed, his ability to get sideline to sideline and downhill. Of course, that's coveted at the next level. So really, looking forward to watching him play as well. On Arkansas side, it's about Landon Jackson for me. I know there's quite a few transfers as well that we need to keep our eyes on, but in terms of first round talent at this juncture, Landon Jackson's the guy that comes up, and that whole conversation whether or not he should play in the interior or at the edge. Best reps came at the edge last year, so let's see what happens. Let's see if they move him around the defensive line, look for matchups. I think when you have players like that, and I'm certainly not comparing him to Chris Jones, but Chris Jones is clearly an interior defensive lineman, but in obvious passing down situations, they look for a matchup and they'll put him at the edge, right? And they'll walk a linebacker up into that B gap so you can't protect. You can't add, you can't chip, you can't whatever the case. Now I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna slide protection. To hell with that.
We're gonna do something.
So, somebody else is gonna get 1-on-1 with the running back. But you understand what I'm saying? Spags does a great job of creating opportunities for Chris Jones to make a play. And Landon Jackson, I'd like to see whether or not he's capable of that. Right? He certainly had some really impressive tape last season. Took games over against some upper echelon talent, NFL caliber offensive tackles. So looking to see him build on that as well.
Let me slide on over to what was it? It was Tennessee and NC State. So we talk about James Pierce and just going up against. I think we had talked about him last year. Might even been the year before. Anthony Belton.
Left tackle for NC State.
Yeah, NC State. So that's one matchup to look at. You got Grayson McCall, who transferred from Coastal Carolina, who's now the quarterback for NC State. I think they struggled in their first game. I think they picked it up and I think they kind of took off towards the.
Y'all know about Concepcion.
Yeah, I was gonna
True
throw
sophomore.
up. I had to back out.
Yeah.
I had to back out of it. Yeah,
he's talented. He's talented, bro. Yeah,
he is. That's one to watch. And then I know we can't really talk about him, but the quarterback for Tennessee, that system. That you want to talk about? Does the glove fit, bro? This ain't no OJ. This ain't the OJ trial, bro. Like that bit fit perfectly, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know when the ladies put on the what are things called? What are things called, bro? When they go to work out and it fits perfectly, bro.
Sure.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like this offense,
the yoga pants, bro.
The yoga pants. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
That Lululemon.
Lululemon. Yes, the Lululemon, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this offense fits in perfectly. I'm not sure all the pieces they got there for Tennessee, but that's a game I'm gonna watch because I want to kind of get caught up on Tennessee and what they got over there.
Oh, now they got pieces, bro. They got talented receivers. Brew McCoy, former 5-star. You got Braswell, the transfer. You know about Squirrel White, the talented slot receiver. Dante Thornton Jr. He was getting deep on them. Lanky, big threat wide receiver. And the running back, man, Dylan Sampson. I'm a fan of Dylan
Sampson.
That's right.
The running back.
His opportunity there too. Yeah, I got to key in on James Pierce, bro, because I'm about to have some real bold things to say about him, bro. So I'm gonna give it tomorrow, and if I don't see it, I'm hot takes. Hot takes, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, looking forward to another slate of college football. Want to encourage everybody. One more. Go ahead.
This is gonna be quick though. Just the Alabama USF game, bro.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a trap game, or anything like that, but that's
USF's talented, bro. They are
dangerous, bro.
They're recruiting well.
Yep.
They are recruiting well. So you got to keep an eye on that. I as a Canes fan, I'm actually going to that game. It's local. That could be one of those. You know what I'm saying? You don't bring your A game. You don't necessarily show up.
They almost got him last year, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Almost got him last year. So yeah.
All right. So again, as I mentioned, I want to encourage folks to leverage our mock draft simulator. Check us out at draftapp.couchpotatogm.com. As Mr. C. Prasky inquired, there will be a rankings update at this time next week. So we'll be adjusting as guys' stock goes up, goes down. As more film comes available, certainly we'll continue to update the draft simulator. As far as Patreon is concerned, join us. There's going to be content there that you simply cannot get. Last week, we covered Mr. C. Prasky's 7-round mock draft for the Seattle Seahawks. He is of that tier. He is of that Patreon tier. So we covered his content live on air, and certainly we want to keep that going as well. So we want to encourage you guys to join us on Patreon. Dana, as I mentioned, we'll get back to our film sessions with our patrons next week, as all 22 is trickling in for 2024. So we took a week off because we're just waiting for that new film to be available. Now that it's available, we'll get back to it, get back on our regular scheduled programming. And again, if you're ever having trouble finding us on any platform, couchpotatogm.com. You can get to us anywhere. Leave us a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you guys next week. Looking forward to another weekend of college football, NFL football too, man. Full slate, man. Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's back, bro. It's that time of year. It's that time of year, man. Hopefully Headley hits on the parlay again. You know what I mean?
I need it, bro. I took some losses
bro.
yesterday, bro. I got too happy. I got trigger happy.
You got ahead of yourself, huh?
You gotta even keel it. You gotta stay even keel, bro.
A lot of bankroll to spend, bro. I gotta be patient. I gotta pick my spot.
Yes, sir. All right. For Headley, Drew, this is Juice. We'll see you next week.